Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, the Freedom Income YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Anyway, in this video I'm going to talk to you about NNDM, Nano Dimension stock, a little bit. So this is a stock that I have traded the sixth time now, actually 6 times. And each time is the stock has, well, so I've traded the stock 2 or 3 times, I've traded the options 6 times. And each time the option has given me about 50% return on investment or more, and the stock's minimum 25%. So overall, we're talking about 25% each gain each time that I trade that I get from the stocks. Get from the stock. I mean, there were twice that I got actually more than 100% return on investment within a week from the stock trading the options. And minimum, the least one I got was about 30% return on investment, average being 50 to 75%. The reason that the reason that happens is that this stock, right, they keep doing, if you go to Finviz, for those of you, I mean, this is probably something new as well for some of you, but if you're a trader, you should know this anyway. Finviz is a great platform for doing your fundamental analysis and technical analysis as well, to an extent, but mostly fundamental analysis. You know, it's mostly sort of US stocks that they cover. If you try and find other stocks, it's not really there, but mostly people trade US stocks anyway. So if you go here, right, they always do what you call share offerings, right, share dilution, right? Now they do them for a good reason. The reason, you know, you can look at some stock tweets here, which tells you some really good information about NNDM as well. You know, what people think. You know, this is general. This is where you do your sentiment analysis, right? And then if you read here, they look, the Nano Dimensions price is 250 million shares, right? Prices. And now, if you look down more, you got Nano Dimensions closes registered direct offering. This again, Nano Dimensions direct offering. Closes $60 million direct offering. Closes $100 million direct offering, right? They've done, basically, when they do when a company does a direct offering, they're offering shares of the company at a specific price, usually at a diluted price, right? Not so sort of dramatically diluted, but it is diluted, right? And Nano Dimensions has done this, I believe, 5 times in the last month alone, and maybe even 6 times. And each time that they do this, I capitalize on it by going long, right? So basically, every time they do it, let's say they do it and the shares go down to $6, right? And then it will trade from 6 and it'll go up to about 8 or 9, and then they will do it again and the shares will go down to 6.50, and then they will do it again and it goes up to 8 or 9 or 10 sometimes even, and then they will do it at $7, and you know, another offering at $7, and then you buy in at 7, and then it'll go to 8, 9 or 10 again, or even more beyond 10, and then they will dilute the shares again at 7.50, right? That's basically what's been happening. So they did that 5 or 6 times in the last month, right? It started at about $6, and then they went to 6.50. They did another offering at 7, and then it was 7.50. so this most recent round is the $7.50, right? So I just bought in again, right? So this time, so the first time around I did options, second time around I did options, third time around I did stock and options, right? The reason I did the third time the third, fourth, and fifth times that I did stock and options. The reason I did stock and options is because they usually do this dilution or share offering sort of pre-market or post-market, right? And options, you can only trade options during normal market open hours, right? And the thing is, if you don't get in quick pre-market on the stock, by the time the market opens, the share price has already gone up so much that the options the premium becomes so high, and it becomes no longer attractive sometimes. So that's why I did stocks a couple of times, right? Because I got in pretty much when they did the dilution, at the beginning of the dilution, and then the stock went up from there. So each time, you know, I bought in at 6, the stock went to about 8, at 7 or 7.50 or 8, I sold the first time. Second time they did at 6.50, I bought in just under 7, I sold again at 8 or 9. The third time they did at 7, I sold again at 9 or 10, and then this time they did it again at 7.50. So I bought in at about 7.80 on the stocks, and I bought in on the options when it was just under $8 as well. And now already after one day, the stock is trading at 8.50, 8.60. I have no doubt it's going to go to $9 above, or even $10 and above. So also, if you're trading, take partial profits along the line, right? And also, Just for your information, in NNDM, this stock is traded quite heavily, or it's traded and invested quite heavily by a hedge fund called ARK Invest. ARK Invest is basically run by Kathy Woods. She's renowned as one of the best traders, one of the best investors out there. ARK Invest. In fact, let me just show you that website. If you just do Google and do ARK Invest. Let me just. Right, so basically my internet is a little slow at the moment because it's actually connected to an extension, to an internet extender, which is in a different room, and now I'm in a different room which is away from that extender, so it's a bit slower than usual, but it's okay, bear with me. It's not too slow. So, ARK Invest, if you look into them, right, this is a great company. In fact, I would actually recommend you to invest in the ETF, which is ARKW, I believe. I didn't invest in it because I live in the UK, and for a British citizen, it's actually very difficult to get in on a US ETF, American ETF, because of the rules and regulations around it. I looked at many brokers, and IG does it, but I don't trust IG. They really messed with me once, and I gave up on them, and just, I use interactive brokers usually, but they can't. For a British, I just cannot buy US ETFs. But I'll definitely recommend you buy the ARK ETF. In fact, I recommended it. I have a Discord group. I recommended it about a month ago. It's gone up by about 30% in the last month. The ETF alone, and ETFs are safe because they don't usually drop much. There's a few good ETFs that I would recommend you getting actually, but ARK is definitely one of them. So if you look into ARK, they actually every time Nano Dimensions dip, they buy a big positions. They've bought many big positions, and they believe in nanotechnology, right? Nano Dimensions. Now, Nano Dimensions is a brilliant company. What they do is great as well. Electronics, right? Just read into the company, know what the company is, sensors, and in fact what the product they produce is actually very difficult to produce, and is actually a really highly used technologies in many in the tech world. So just sort of read into it, right? So another tool I wanted to share with you is Webull. Now, to be honest, I use Webull on my mobile. There's a mobile app for Webull. I prefer that more. I use that on the mobile app, but since I'm recording on a desktop, I can show you on a desktop. It's free. It's actually, well, in fact, it cost me about $2 or $3 a month to get Webull, and that gives me level 2 trading details as well. Level 2 is where you get to see live orders, buys and sell orders that's coming in through the platform, which I think is quite useful. And in addition to that, you also get pre-market, post-market, complete live pricing, so extended hour trading pricing, which is really useful. You need that, and you also get a lot of news. You get to see the company's financials. Again, like I said, I prefer using it on. Let me just log into. Let me just see if I can. I'll connect it to here, which is closer. I'll just change the connection here. There we go. Right, now I'm connected to the internet, which is in this room, which is faster now. So, still recording, yeah. So you can see, right, you get the company financials, which is fantastic, right? You get news, you get to see what news there is, right away you get to see what they've done, what the company is about, and when they're doing a direct offering. You get to see analysis, what the analysts are recommending. Is it a buy? Is it a sell? Is it underperform, overperform? And what kind of price they target for. And there's some technical analysis there as well, which is fantastic. You get press releases. You got options. Pricings on call options, on put options, all your pricings here. And remember, this is all for the level 2, for the whole thing. It only costs $2 a month. For me, that is a no-brainer. And you get level 2 trading information as well. Basically, you get to see order flows, especially if you use your mobile. It's a bit easier. I'm more used to operating on my mobile. You get to see the live orders that's coming in, buys and sells. So that can be useful too. So do check that out. If you haven't got Webull, I definitely recommend you getting Webull. In fact, I use Interactive Brokers, and if you wanted level 2 data and all these live data and pre-market, post-market live data, it actually costs like $20-30 or something a month, which I didn't pay for because I use Webull for $2 or $3 and I get the same thing. So it's almost like free. So Ark Invest, look into that. And also I would recommend TradingView as a trading platform. You can use this for your charting in terms of any stock really. So look into that as well. And yeah, just to finish off this video, on just a final word on Nano Dimensions, NNDM. There's two ways you can trade this, right? I believe this stock is very bullish in the long term. So what you can do is you just buy a position, probably ideally in the sevens, prices in the 7s or 8s just now, because they've just done an offering at 750. I reckon if they do an offering again, which I believe they will, the reason they do these offerings is to grow the business. So it's a good reason. They're not doing it for bad reasons. They're doing it for good reason. So that's a good thing. And what you can do is maybe buy a position in the 8s and just hold it for 6 months, and that's bound to go beyond $10, I'm confident. Or what I've been doing is I've just been trading it in and out. So every time they do a share offering, I get in early, and I would not be too greedy, and I would sell usually within less than a week, because they've been pretty much doing share offerings every single week for the last month. So if you buy in, as soon as they do it, close to the price that they offer at, so let's say 750, you get it at about 8. And you hold that until about 9 or 10, and probably usually within a week, and you sell that position when you're happy with the profit, and then you wait for them to do another offering, and as soon as they do the next offering, you get in again, either on stocks or options, and you just repeat that process. That's basically what I've been doing. I think you can actually make more that way over time. Also, you protect your profits. You're not tying money in. You're not tying capital up for a period of time, because if you had held the stock for the last month, what you would have seen is it gone up by like 30, 40, 50%, and then it went down to 0 or break even or 10% only, and then it went back up to 40% and went to 0 again, or even to a bit of loss maybe, and then it goes up again, and then you see that fluctuation. Whereas if you buy in and sell, you're taking 20, 30, 40, 50%, even 100% plus profits on each trade. So that's what I've been doing with this stock, and I would recommend you do that as well, but you don't have to. It's a bullish stock even if you hold for the long term. And just to finish off with, let me recommend you my Discord group, Freedom Income Discord group, which I'll include a link in the description area. It's completely free. You can trade live with myself, plus you can trade with a few other highly successful, highly experienced, and highly profitable traders. We got a couple of traders in the group that makes like tens of thousands every month. There's one of the alerters. She invests big positions. In fact, her biggest win was 100,000 plus within a couple of weeks, $100,000 plus within less than 2 weeks. So, and I myself have a very high win rate. It's definitely 80% plus win rate. It's probably close to 90% with a 10% loss, which means if I trade 10 items, I'll win 8 or 9 and only lose 1 or 2, and the 1 or 2 losses are actually quite small. So do look into that. It's completely free as well. In fact, I've been approached by a few very highly experienced, highly profitable traders. They've either been in my group or they've seen me trade. I've been approached by them to work with. They've actually asked me to pretty much headhunted me to work with them but paid, or they want to work with me in my group, but it's got a paid group, and I actually refused. And I actually genuinely enjoy helping people for free. I make enough money, sufficient profits from my trading and investments. Unlike some people who probably don't, and they need it. They need it to make another source of income somewhere else. And if I'm being honest, I believe my win rate in this group is actually higher than a lot, if not most, of the paid groups out there. Anyway. And I've been approached by many to charge, and they believe I can make good money from from this as a source of income, but I refused. I actually, and I don't intend to. I intend to keep my Freedom Income Discord group free because I genuinely want to help people for free. And just a caveat: if you come in and you start spamming or start talking inappropriately, you will be banned and kicked without questions, no questions asked. But if you want to share any good information, if you want to share any good trades, by all means come in and do that, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Thank you. Logging out.